My name is Mark Boone. I'm Assistant Professor of Philosophy at Foreman Christian College. This is a video abstract for my article, Proper Function and the Conditions for Warrant. What Plantinga's notion of warrant shows about different kinds of knowledge. This article is published in Philosophia Christi, the journal of the Evangelical Philosophical Society, in the year 2012. The article concerns the writings of Alvin Plantinga. Plantinga is one of the more preeminent, possibly the most preeminent Christian philosophers of the last 30 or 40 or maybe 50 years. Plantinga is famous or infamous in some circles for arguing that belief in the existence of God can be warranted even without evidence, and that it can indeed be known even without evidence, since warrant, Plantinga says, is that which makes the difference between knowledge and mere true belief. Now, what does it mean to have warrant without evidence? Plantinga, always following the techniques of Roderick Chisholm and Thomas Reid, he always goes to this comparison of belief in the existence of God to various other beliefs that are warranted and known without evidence. For example, I know that there is a world outside my mind. I know that I drank a cup of tea this morning. I know that other minds exist. I'm not the only being in the universe, the only conscious being. I know you people exist too. Now, these beliefs are not based on very good evidence, and they don't need to be based on very good evidence, at least according to Plantinga's analysis. So what Plantinga says is that what actually warrants them is not the evidence for them. What warrants them is they're being produced by knowing faculties, cognitive faculties, which are aimed at producing true belief and are functioning properly in the right sort of environment in which they're meant to function, and are, moreover, reliable faculties. So when a belief is produced by these reliable faculties aimed at true belief, functioning properly in the environment in which they're meant to function, or a sufficiently similar environment, when such faculties produce beliefs, those beliefs are warranted. And the rest is comparatively easy. Plantinga simply has to suggest that we have such a faculty for knowing the existence of God. And so belief in the existence of God is in the same boat, epistemologically speaking, as belief in other minds, belief in the world outside the mind, my belief that there are books beside me, and memory beliefs and so on. Now, in my article, I clear up one matter in Plantinga's epistemology that I think has generated some confusion. Is the proper functioning of these faculties in the right environment, reliable, aimed at true belief, is it sufficient for warrant, or is it merely necessary? And what I find by looking over Plantinga's definitions of warrant, the arguments he uses for them, I find that his case is simply that these properly functioning faculties are necessary for warrant in all cases, but they are sufficient in some and not sufficient in all cases. So basically we have different kinds of knowledge. We have knowledge that can be warranted by the proper functioning of these faculties that are reliable and aimed at true belief and are in the right environment. We can have knowledge that is warranted by these beliefs, by these faculties alone. And then we can have knowledge that needs such faculties, whatever faculties are involved, to be working properly in the right environment, etc., etc. But we also need reason or evidence as an additional condition for warrant. We have knowledge for which these faculties are sufficient and knowledge for which these faculties are insufficient. I clear this up and I explain some of the implications for philosophy of religion in the grand debate that's had between proponents of natural theology, as it's called, arguments for the existence of God, summarizing it, on the one hand, and folks like Alvin Plantinga on the other, who say we don't need these sorts of arguments in order to have a rational, even a known belief that God exists. My article is available on my academia.edu profile. Go to academia.edu, search for Mark J. Boone, PhD, and you should be able to find it. The pagination there will be different from the pagination in the published edition, which you can access online. I think you can purchase it from the journal if you do not have access to the scholarly journal databases that subscribe to this particular journal. I recommend this article for anyone trying to understand Plantinga's epistemology, and it might be of some interest to anyone trying to understand the debate between proponents of arguments for the existence of God and those who say religious believers do not actually need them. Thank you for watching this video abstract. I bid you happy reading.